All right, fire them up! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Genre of Your Life podcast, a show all about movies, TV, and the genres that define us. This is episode number 56. I am one of your hosts, Doug Jones. With me, as always, are my amazing co-hosts, two of my best friends, and two of the best people in the world. First off, we have the one, the wonderful, the amazing. It is Mr. Nick Johnson. How's it going, Nick?
I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling like Lisa Al Gaib up in here, player.
Listen to that Dune podcast, I know, huh?
I've been listening to a lot of Dune podcasts lately, so
Yeah.
forgive the reference.
No, man, it was the highest grossing movie of the year until Inside Out 2 came out, so it's still the top, I think, top 5 best movies of the year so far. So hey, man, keep the spice, keep the spice flowing, and keep the references going. Am I right?
Yes, sir. About to focus on the golden path.
I like that because we're 2 years away from Messiah. I think 2 years, right? Or 3 years. I think it's 2. I could be wrong.
Hopefully just 2 years.
I could be wrong. I'm gonna say 2. Don't
I need
at
that
me
right now.
and last but not least, Mr. Hollywood himself. It is the one, the incredible, the wonderful. It's Mr. Moses Lai. How's it going, Moses?
Hey, what's going on, you guys? You know how long I've been waiting for this? Nah, I'm kidding. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to start this new episode and get it going.
I still love that line in Deadpool. He goes, "I'm sorry, honey. Who's your dialect coach? The fucking Minions."
That had me. He's like, it's been a while since I've seen Sling Blade. Running back again. Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Or he goes the one he goes, yeah, I shot my daddy's dick ready. Dear Lord, that is graphic.
He was going in on that movie. I saw that movie with my mom the other day. I was like, I can't believe I forgot that line was in there. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
We have TVMA, and we have explicit on the show for a reason. The one line I forgot about the other day until I saw on TikTok where there was a joke where he goes, they don't call me blowjob Timmy from Timmy the blowjob queen from Canada, something like that. It's some joke like that I forgot of, and I heard it on TikTok, and I was crying again. I'm like, yeah, it's so fucking funny.
Bro, I've seen that movie 3 times in theaters so far, and I have not gotten tired of it yet. It's already at $1 billion, y'all.
It made $1 billion.
That's like. It's like, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it's like, damn, that was quick.
It made $1 billion, which is, and everyone was saying the theaters are dead, movies are dead. Clearly not.
Yeah.
Clearly not. And it's gonna pass Joker.
No, they're definitely not.
It's gonna pass Joker for the biggest rated R movie.
Say again about
time.
Joker?
It's gonna pass Joker.
Oh yeah.
Box office, yeah. Which is crazy because Joker was the first rated R movie to ever make $1 billion. Deadpool and Wolverine number 2, and it's gonna beat Joker. And like I think after this weekend, it's gonna pass it, which is crazy to say. But hey, man, good for Ryan, good for Hugh, good for Sean Levy, good for everyone involved. Hey, again, I think it was like a moment for this summer that we, again, even though Twister was doing really good, Bad Boys did really well, Inside Out 2 did really well, is that like we still had a movie. I feel like when we were all growing up, whether it was a Dark Knight or an Iron Man or whatever we had growing up, is that we always had a movie that summer. Except for 2020 because of COVID, but like I feel like every summer we've had that movie like that where it was like, this is the event of the summer. And I think this was it. I feel last year was Barbie and Oppenheimer. This year was kind of Deadpool, Wolverine. So seeing that kind of like it succeeded, it's a win for all of us. Win for the movies, win for us fans, win for us, win for the theaters, win for everybody. It's just like, hey, the movies are here to stay. So all you bitch ass haters that were saying, oh, the theaters are dead, movies in the theaters are whack, y'all were wrong. Guess what?
Yeah.
$1 billion.
Y'all just weren't seeing the right movies. That's all.
Yeah, that too. That too.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm. That fucking too, my boy. Oh wait, speaking of movies, before the little housekeeping, whatever. Mose, I gotta ask because you have the Regal pass as well. Did you see Borderlands?
Mm.
Yes, I did. I did.
Oh, I gotta hear about this. What'd you think about it, bro?
You guys want to hear about it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Might
mean,
as well.
shit.
I mean, I mean, you know me, as a, a person who loves a lot of movies, and has little hate for, you know, little hate for them, for some of them that people might think that some are bad or whatever. So I went in there, me not caring about the Rotten Tomatoes or anything like that, and I was like, you know what? Who cares about the Rotten Tomatoes? I'm pretty sure this thing probably slaps, without them knowing, and I gotta say it's, you know, it wasn't like it wasn't I mean, for me when I watched it, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good enough because I'm on Letterboxd too as well. It wasn't good enough for me to rate it. I liked it, but I didn't rate it.
Mhm.
So that already gives you an idea of how I feel about it. You know, I felt like the editing was a little bit was a little bit chaotic, and I didn't feel that much for any of the characters. I don't know why. Do you have like these actors are amazing, right? You got 2 Academy Award actors and everything like that, but maybe it was the story that made it feel for me not to really like care so much about the characters at all. There's some sweet moments here and there, but at the end of the day, like I wasn't out of my seat, like, oh, I hope she doesn't die, or blah blah blah, this and there, this and that. But um, I don't know. I hope whoever goes and watch it likes it. If you don't like it, that's okay. But that's just my opinion. I liked it, but I didn't really truly enjoy it, based on the story. And story at the end of the day is king for me. So yeah, that's my opinion, I guess.
Damn.
I'm yeah, because it's funny because 'cause I have the Regal pass too, and I was like, I thought about seeing it the other day, and I was like, I want to see it because I want to see how bad it is again. Because I still saw, I mean, I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it at home. I watched Madam Web. I was like, I want to see how bad it really is because I'm curious, because I'm really curious to see how it was. And I was telling this to Nick yesterday when we came over to the apartment. I was saying that I really wanted because I love seeing Kevin Hart and stuff like this in terms of just like ensemble pieces, like a Jumanji or Central Intelligence, where like he has a group of people he can play off of, like ensemble piece. And because I feel like sometimes with Kevin Hart, like a Night School or like I think Ride Along 2 maybe and a few other movies where it's just like it's too much of him, where it's just like, oh man, like you're funny, but like it's not clicking. But he has a Jumanji, Jack Black, Karen Gillan, The Rock, Central Intelligence. He has The Rock to play off of him. Is that like it works when he has more of an ensemble? I think Jack Black back to the day could lead a movie, but I think now past 10 years of Jack Black, better off with ensemble. I.e. Tropic Thunder, School of Rock. I think was definitely an example of like that too. But and I think that it's Eli Roth, as we all know. Eli Roth is very known for very different kind of movies in terms of like horror and like like Grindhouse, as Nick said yesterday too, like that kind of genre movie, like the kind of like the horror, like the slasher, kind of like disturbing kind of movie. So when you think of Eli Roth doing Borderlands, you're kind of like, what? And then to your 2 point, Moses, that like you have these really talented actors all involved, 2 Oscar winners right there, great ensemble piece. You have a really big budget behind it. You have a big studio behind it with Lionsgate. Like, what went wrong? And I just feel like it was just the wrong person was attached to the project. And you could tell too, like, i.e. Josh Trank in Fantastic Four. Like, the wrong person attached to the project. It's like, oh man, this guy wasn't the right person or girl wasn't the right person to do this movie, and it shows. And it shows when it works, and it shows when it doesn't work. You're just like, oof, like this person does not understand this IP or franchise, and it's just like, oh man, like, come on guys, what happened? Like, what happened? But fortunately, I think is a strong 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, and made 8.8 opening weekend, $8.8 million opening weekend, which is had a budget of 120 mil plus marketing distribution. Boy, oh boy, it's not looking good.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's.
Now, have you guys played the Borderlands game?
A long time ago.
I think I've seen a little bit of gameplay.
Okay, because I'm honestly I'm not really familiar with the franchise. The only thing I know about it is I think Florian Montieu's character. I apologize if I'm butchering that name, but where like the character where he has the like that gas mask on or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only image I've seen of it. So I was gonna ask, like, if you guys knew a little bit more about it, like who do you think would be like a better director for a project like this?
Oh, man,
You talking about for Borderlands, the movie we just saw?
Yeah, like if you were gonna like make a Borderlands movie and it was like, well, let me like what director like really fits the vibe of this game? Like who do you think would do a better job potentially than I think it was like Tim Miller / Eli Roth?
That's a good question. I think the guy that directed the recent King Godzilla versus X might have done well because I really enjoyed
Adam Wingard.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the recent sort of like Kong versus Godzilla and everything like that. I thought that was really, really entertaining in a very sort of like spectacle way. So, this is a person that just popped up to my mind right now. So, if I had to be specific, it'd probably take me a little bit more time, but just for that, probably have him. I definitely would have probably chosen basically direct this film. That's me. I don't know about you, Doug.
I played the game maybe once or twice in high school, like really early high school, like freshman, sophomore year. I just didn't really play as much. I played more Call of Duty and like GTA and like movie theme games back in the, or 2K whatever back in the day, or Madden. From what I'm hearing is that everyone's saying it's a Walmart ripoff of Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's like, oh, okay, that's good to know.
That's crazy.
I don't really know. I feel like, because I don't know the game well enough to your point, Nick. I don't know the game well enough. I don't really know I don't really know like who I would pick. So I feel like I would have to talk to you like, okay, you do Borderlands. Why Borderlands? Well, here's why. Blah 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 blah. I feel like we talk to someone like Ryan Coogler. Why I love Black Panther. This that whatever. Okay, you understand the character. Or John Watts in Spider-Man. Or even Sam Raimi to a degree. Sam Raimi knew Spider-Man in that kind of lore or whatever. Or I think back to like certain filmmakers that really just know. Like they really know this property really well, and they're passionate about it. And that speaks because they're like, oh, like the passion's there, and it's just like, and that to me, I always see that in actors and directors too. Is just that if they have a passion for something, they're gonna show out. They're gonna show like their love while they're making this film or show within that project. So for Borderlands, I don't know, man. Yeah. I feel like I can't think of anyone that comes to mind that I feel like, oh, this would be kind of cool. I mean, Adam Wingard, again, I definitely can see, because he managed scope and managed an ensemble piece like that. I'm trying to think like if any filmmakers come to my mind. I could have seen a Zack Snyder version of it in a way that like, he's very good with kind of like spectacle and an ensemble piece like that too. I don't think it's kind of up his wheelhouse. I think it's more like, I think if he would do it, probably do like a rated R version, like a hardcore rated R version of that. I can't really think of like. I mean, you can see Sean Levy because of recent bias because of Deadpool and Wolverine, and he's very good at doing ensemble pieces like that too. Very spectacle stuff too. I think I'll say this before I'll pass it off to you, Nick. I think maybe 10 years ago, if it was like before Star Wars, around Star Trek, J.J. Abrams could have been a guy. And I feel like he would have been like, because it's sci-fi, it's comedy, it's like a kind of like a genre hybrid of different things. So I think maybe 10 years ago, if he didn't do Star Wars or around the Star Trek era, J.J. Abrams could have been a choice. He's good to do that spectacle ensemble pieces. But I know. What about you, Nick? Who would you have?
Like again, I don't know shit about this franchise, but I do like your Zack Snyder idea. Obviously, I'm a bit of a Zack Snyder fanboy. I was even kind of thinking maybe like Chad Stahelski
David Leitch.
because also the vibe of Borderlands that I've gotten is like it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic type world. I don't know if the game had any like comedic like tones to it, but I was also kind of thinking I think it was the Isley brothers who did the Book of Eli, because that movie was kind of post-apocalyptic. So I'm wondering, like, I wonder if that would kind of work with it, but obviously it would be a little bit more like kind of like darker, gritty in terms of like atmosphere and everything like that. But yeah,
it's a shame. It's I mean, like I said too. I mean, since on the podcast multiple times, Inside Baseball for returning and even their new fans is that if a movie like that has no press screenings whatsoever, not a good sign. Or if the embargo lifts night the movie comes out for the public audience, or day after the movie comes out, not a very good sign. So as soon as we heard that we weren't getting a screener for this, I told Nick, I was like, not a good sign. And then he said The Crow, same thing. I said, also not a good sign. Can you just like it's not a good sign when they don't screen it for the critics. They're hiding something pretty big. And there's times, you know what, I think the Breaking Bad movie El Camino had a late embargo for press, whatever. So there are times where it's an outlier of like they were holding on to the last minute for a certain reason. But for the most part, for I would say 99% of time is that there's no press screening for any critics or any kind of like, you know, journal podcast or official journalists, podcasters like us. Not a good sign. And the embargo lifts like the night movie comes out for the public audiences, never a good sign. So a little inside baseball for you guys, but I think we all knew that it was going to be a disaster, but we didn't think it would be this bit of a disaster with the 6% Rotten Tomatoes and an $8.8 million opening on a $120 million budget movie. So safe to say that 2024 biggest flop, biggest bust. Again, haven't seen the movie, but hear where Moses is coming from and hearing other people say it. Looks like 2024, Madam Web now can breathe finally and give.
Yeah, I mean,
someone saw that they made Madam Web and they said, you know what, let's compete with Borderlands real quick.
Hold my beer.
The one thing that I am, thinking about now when it comes down to, video game adaptations and everything like that is sort of like the next sort of like films that are sort of like video game adaptation and what the creators of those, upcoming sort of like films are thinking about right now,
Mm-hmm.
And what their sort of like minds are, at when it comes down to, if their next film might get the same sort of like treatment, because I feel like right now, right, we're in this era of people loving video game adaptations. I feel like there has been like, like quite a few like announcements, right, for video games adaptations. I think there was Zelda too as well, right? And
Zelda?
And I think yeah, is it Zelda?
Oh, they're making a Zelda movie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called. Pretty sure it's Zelda. Maybe I'm tripping.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah, West
Zelda,
Ball.
The Nintendo.
Yep, West Ball who did the last Apes movies doing it.
Yeah. So that's
okay.
also,
Okay. I haven't played the Zelda games either, but I did enjoy the last Apes movie. I need a Halo movie, man.
Oh, your boy.
And not like the show. I mean, I need one that's like more faithful to the game.
Your boy Avi Arad is producing the Zelda movie.
No,
Nick.
yeah. I mean.
I'm not interested anymore. I'm sorry. You lost me at Avi Arad. Oh my gosh. Heck
hey,
no.
It was funny. Avi Arad produced on Borderlands as well.
Oh, there you go. Okay, see,
wow.
that makes sense.
Wow. Okay.
Zelda's about to be Borderlands 2.0 from what I understand.
You know what's funny? That's a little scary. That's a little, like, especially for whatchamacallit, right? You have the company, the studio and everything like that. It's like, okay, yo, you gave us Borderlands, right? But it's like we got nothing from it, you know. And I'm wondering now, I don't know how far in development they are with that movie, if they're planning to basically scratch that producer off, or or literally pause on Zelda entirely, right? Because there hasn't
Yeah.
been any sort of like casting sort of like any news or anything like that. So I'm just wondering what they're gonna sort of like do about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just yeah, there's been a lot. There's been a lot, especially after like Barbie and everything when it comes out. I know it's not a video game adaptation, but it is very much in the same sort of like vein, kind of,
Mhm.
And there's been so many announcements, what sort of like adaptations with with board games and all these kind of things too as well, and also the Minecraft movie too as well. So I wonder when it comes down to it, all of these films that are sort of like you know video games, sort of like dolls adaptations and everything like that are thinking about now. And they're probably not thinking anything at all. They're probably like, well, that's not our problem, or whatever. The story was bad, blah 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 blah. But it's something that I definitely know that I am gonna be thinking about, moving forward when it comes down to it, just to see what other people basically think, just curiosity of mine. So, but yeah, that's my other little sort of like spiel, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think this is why streaming has the upper hand. I think in terms of video game adaptations, where you can look at The Last of Us, for example. You can spread it out and not just do a 2 hour movie or 2.5 hour movie. You have more time to be with the characters and explore the mythology of these games via streaming and TV. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I think what, man, it's probably gonna be just like what,
Oh,
done with movie game these kind of these big budget movie game adaptations because it's just like they're just not working. They're just not working.
yeah. No, you know what's funny, Doug? Now that you mentioned, TV series, I feel like this would have been a great TV series
It's a shame.
for either literally like Apple TV, or or literally Amazon. They Amazon would have probably like done a really really good job, especially what they're doing with with Fallout, and also video game adaptation too as well. Like they're doing such an amazing job. That's one of the biggest shows on that platform. So
Yeah,
this would have been a really really good series too as well. Now that you mentioned that.
yeah.
So
You're right. Fallout on Amazon Prime. You're right. Yeah, Fallout is. It's just like it can be done. There's ways to do it. I just feel like the era of trying to make a video game adaptation to a movie, it just has not worked. I mean, Pokemon did pretty well for the most part, so they got lucky with that. I think you also get Ryan Reynolds attached to it too, so okay, you have some kind of like things behind it. But for the most part, like stuff like Uncharted or Max Payne or now the Borderlands it's just not working. It's just not working. Or the Tomb Raider movies, they're just not working. So it's just like, all right, guys, like learn from your mistakes. How can we improve this? Okay, we can do it. We can do it this way. Let's do that. So I know, and
yeah,
I hope that goes
yeah.
the
The only
yeah.
No, no, no. I mean, I mean, let's give credit where credit's due and everything like that, because there is, I think the recent movie that basically came out. I think was it, I don't know if it was last year, but Super Mario,
You're
that
right.
was
You're
a
right.
video game adaptation
You're
that
right.
did pretty good, and also Sonic, to
Yeah.
as well. Those are the only two that come in mind. There probably is more to those who are listening and everything like that, but I feel like it could be done. It could be done. It's just there. I feel like there is a recipe that that needs to unfold. So
Yeah. I agree. I agree. They gotta crack it. I agree because it's definitely you're right. It's definitely. I mean, Super Mario made $1 billion, so it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Yeah, again,
Yeah.
never say never, right? Never say never.
I
Oh
mean,
man,
shit, that's real. That's true.
never say never. But yeah, guys, if you've seen Borderlands, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the YouTube section or Spotify or Apple Podcast comments. Let us know. And speaking of which, of course, you can find this show on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music will have a full audio show on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Midway Avenue Productions. Whether you're on Spotify or Apple or Amazon or YouTube, subscribe, rate the show, please. Share it with your friends, family, movie fans, podcast fans, whatever. Again, janitors, preachers, uncles, nephews, anyone, nieces, anyone, your neighbor, dog walker. We really do we're about to hit 25,000 subscribers from podcasting, which is crazy. That isn't again, I would say public number, unfortunately, but I told the boys, this today and yesterday, is that we're so close to it, and that's all thanks to you guys for subscribing, downloading the show, playing us, whether you're in the car, whether you're at the gym, whether you're at whatever. That we're about to be 2 years in this show come November, which is crazy. You're about to hit 25,000. So thank you so much for the support, the sharing of the show, and the love that we've been getting from you all. It means the world to us. But for Apple Podcast listeners, because we know that you're the biggest group of people listening to our show, which is awesome. We just need your help getting to 200 ratings on Apple Podcasts as soon as possible, because with that, we get more coverage for press events and more coverage for festivals and cons, stuff like that too. More interview options, which is really cool. Interview, kind of just like press stuff. So for Apple Podcasts, again, for Spotify, Amazon, Pandora, YouTube Music, YouTube, please subscribe, rate the show. We need your help. But for Apple Podcasts, please review, leave a rating on the show. Again, we're still at around 50, I want to say, on Apple Podcasts. So if we can get to 200 Apple Podcast ratings as soon as possible, that would be super awesome, super helpful. So thank you all for the ongoing support. And we feel the love. Again, we love doing the show with you, for us, doing the show for you all. But it's a big honor of us doing the show for you all, for us every week too. So again, subscribe, rate, spread the word. And it really does mean a lot to us. So thank you for getting us to almost 25,000 subscribers. So, and it's just, again, it's unreal. So thank you all for the love. We feel it, and we appreciate you guys listening every week. Alrighty, my good sirs. So speaking of movies and such, and Borderlands flopping, we're gonna go down, because I think it's because we did this last year at the same time too. We're gonna do our our fall 2024 movie preview season. And last year we did that. I think we did it starting with Gran Turismo last year, and that came out. So let me pull up IMDb right here, because we have a lot coming out down the pipeline for fall 2024 movie season. And we're gonna start with, I think Beetlejuice is the big one, because September, Labor Day is when it kicks off fall movie preview. Let's go. Okay, so starting with on September 6th, the first big movie of the fall 2024 fall is Beetlejuice. Mose, I'll start with you, my friend. Are you looking forward to this? Are you a Beetlejuice fan? Are you a Tim Burton fan? What's your thoughts on this movie coming out?
I never, really sort of like, I didn't watch, the earlier version, that basically came out and everything like that, Beetlejuice. But I am excited to see this one once we get a little bit closer. I'm definitely gonna check out the previous one that came out essentially. So I'm not like extremely excited, but I am curious about it, because there's a lot of excitement around it. So yeah, I definitely, and Tim also made that one show which is on Netflix. I forget what it's called. I literally watched the thing.
Oh, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yes. I'm a huge fan of that show. And I'm excited to see this one too as well. So, and I know Jenna Ortega's gonna kill it. So.
All right, Nick. What's your anticipation level for Beetlejuice?
So like I definitely want to see it. I'm a huge fan of the first one. A shout out to my grandma, because when I was a kid, like she showed it to me, and it was always just really fun to watch it. Like I loved watching. I didn't realize that was Michael Keaton that played Beetlejuice in that movie. Like I knew who Michael Keaton was from Batman, but when she told me like, Nick, that's Batman, that's Michael Keaton, I was like, Grandmother's Cap, because he was just so unrecognizable, and he really just delved into the role. But it was really fun. Like even just like the different like kind of worlds that they had in that first one was really cool. So this one is like I'm I'm gonna see it, but I think mostly out of like nostalgia purposes for the first one. I think anticipation level probably like 6.8, 7 out of 10. Definitely gonna see it though. And Moses actually, because you mentioned Wednesday, the guys that developed or the guys that created Smallville also created Wednesday. Miles Miller and Alfred Go, I think is how you pronounce his
No
name.
wonder
And
why I
I
like it.
believe they're working on this one as well.
No wonder why I like. It's like there has to be something here. There has to be
Exactly,
something.
man. It got a little touch of that Superman on it, and I know that's what you like. That's what I like too, man. So I'm like, heck yeah,
Yeah,
this
that's
little
great.
movie trivia for y'all.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing like, is it gonna kind of have the same, I guess, oomph to it for lack of a better term. I have like I feel like it's kind of like I feel like the first one set a bit of a high bar for the second one, but I don't know. We gonna see, but I'm definitely gonna see it though. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing it as a kid, and I was like, "This is kind of weird," but you can't help but like, oh, I like how Michael Keaton is very charismatic. Obviously, I said on the show before, I'm not a big Tim Burton fan person. I think he's kind of just a little bit overrated as a filmmaker. I think back to like, I think I watched some of his movies during COVID, during lockdown, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't click with me for his movies. I mean, I do like his first Batman, obviously. I like Big Fish, but I'm thinking for the most part though, like I didn't like his Willy Wonka remake. Was fucking weird. I didn't, I didn't really like.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I didn't like Dark Shadows. I didn't like a lot of his. I mean, I do like his animation that he's part of, like Corpse Bride and Nightmare Before Christmas, obviously. But in terms of live action stuff, I just feel like he hasn't clicked with me as a filmmaker. But I'll probably see it because again, it's because Michael Keaton's involved. I like Michael Keaton a lot. I kind of want to see like how well this does as a kind of quote unquote legacy sequel. But it's not one that I'm kind of putting on my radar of like, oh, I can't wait for this one. But I'm curious enough to kind of go see it because of Michael Keaton and seeing how well a character like this holds up 30 something years later. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And that is September. And that is the only movie coming out that wide release coming out on September 6th, 2024. All right, next up. Ooh, yeah, this one's pretty good. The 13th of September, it is Speak No Evil, the Blumhouse produced pick starring James McAvoy. Nick, with you, my friend, we're gonna see this movie for the press screening. What is your thoughts? Are you excited about this movie, Speak No Evil?
I'm super excited for this one. I think that they showed just a. It seems like they showed just a tad bit too much in the trailer, like the scene where spoilers for the trailer, I guess, but the scene where the little boy has he showed that his tongue was cut out.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that would have been such I feel like that would have been such a huge reveal. Like in the movie, it would have been like a holy shit moment. But um and I feel like typically movies like that, like I would probably skip because it's like, okay, well, we get it. It's a family, they get kind of cornered and trapped by this other family who's crazy, whatever. I feel like that's a formula I've seen a few times, but something about this one, maybe because it's James McAvoy, that kind of like sucked me into it a little bit more. Like he just seems like he's really going into that whole like crazy, twisted, psychotic role and or mentality of the role. And so like I feel like it's gonna be a fun watch. So I think my anticipation for that one, scale of 1 to 10, is probably like honestly like an 8. That scene at the end of the trailer where like he's kind of smiling at the camera, but it keeps just like changing and stuff like that. It just worked for me, and it looks scary and it looks twisted. And I like that in like those psychological horror movies. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right, Moses. I know you appreciate Blumhouse the way I do. Are you looking forward to Speak No Evil?
Um, I don't. The real answer is I don't know. Um, uh, yeah, I mean I've seen the trailer and everything like that, but I mean, you know me, I'm not very like big when it comes down to like, the whole like horror genre and everything,
Yeah.
unless it's like if I feel like there's some thriller element to it and everything. And Yeah, yeah. I might see it, if there's a time. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go see this movie. And then I probably will, you know. But yeah, I have not yet decided if I will. But yeah, I don't really have like a crazy opinion, everything like that. But at the end of the day, I know I probably will go see it. Um, Yeah, yeah, because James is in it,
Yeah.
so and he's a great actor, and seeing the trailer too as well, I'm like, man, this guy can play anybody, and I will be convinced. So and yeah, yeah, I'll definitely check it out and everything like that if I feel up to it, basically, when the time comes.
Using your Regal pass. Is it worth using the Regal pass?
Yeah, it's Regal Pass, 100%.
Yeah, I'm definitely, yeah. You know what? I'm definitely looking forward to this movie because think James McAvoy. I think really, I mean, look at Split, or even again, I think Split's definitely a better movie. But even Glass, I don't really care for Glass, but like, you can't deny the guy is a fucking phenomenal actor, and the way he's able to kind of just like switch off character, both in Split and Glass is very, very impressive, very remarkable, if you ask me. So I love when he kind of playing these kind of like dark and like sidious, kind of like sinister characters, where it's just like, ooh, like what's he capable of? Because he also so pretty buff in this movie. Given the trailers, that like he's probably capable of some kind of like really harm and really kind of like just like chaos. But I'm with you, Nick. Actually, you know why? 'Cause I remember seeing the first trailer. I was like the first teaser. I was like, oh, cool. Like this is really cool. Not showing much. It's very creepy. Like a vacation gone wrong. These kind of weirdo people. Like what can go wrong? But you're right, Nick. The second trailer
Yeah.
showed way too much. Way too much. Where I'm just like, oh, come on. It's a mystery, thriller, horror. Let's kind of just like keep the surprise at a bare minimum if we can. So I don't really know again. I think Jason Blum is very good at kind of keeping things a secret in terms of his trailers and marketing. But I feel like they were kind of like, I'm not desperate. But they're like, hey, we're gonna show this, whatever. But I'm with you on that. It would have been a cool reveal of like, look at his tongue. It's gone. You're just like, whoa, that would have been a huge twist, or a huge reveal. But I don't know. I am looking forward
Yeah.
to the. Yeah, go ahead.
No, no, because I'm with you. So to your point, like as far as trailers go, I feel like they need to get back to like we're not making like 3 or 4 different versions of a trailer for a movie. Like just keep it at like the teaser and maybe like a main trailer. And
Yeah.
even with the main trailer, just kind of show just a little bit of what like the plot is or the story is. Like just again, just tease it. Tease like the vibe of the movie, tease a little bit of what's going on. I think maybe just up to like the inciting incident. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
then like the rest of the movie after like when you're actually watching it, it's like, okay, I don't really know what's going on. Like put and spoiler alert for those of you who possibly haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, but with that movie, when they were showing when they were showing the trailer for that, like we didn't know what was going on. So when Thanos got beheaded right at the beginning, it really was kind of like a what the hell is gonna what are they gonna do now? You know what I mean? So it's like do it like that where it's like, hey, here's the movie, here's vaguely the idea of it, and so now when you go into the movie, you don't really know what to expect. Because again, like Doug, to your point, it takes some of the experience away. And it's like when you watch the movie, if you've seen like all of the even if it's just been like one big major shocker moment in the trailer, it takes away from it. So it's kind of like, okay, well, good movie, but it would have been a little bit better had this part not been revealed in the advertisements, pardon me.
Yeah. It's because they are good. Blumhouse is really good at doing. What we were saying, they're good at kind of just like building the suspense, kind of keep you guessing and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So it's just like I wonder why they were. I wonder. I mean, we're gonna be seeing it a couple days before the movie comes out. So that's a good sign. I hope that like they're showing it like a few days at advance before it comes out. So hopefully it's kind of a good sign.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And that is September 13th,
Yeah.
which is the
And-
only movie. Go ahead, Nick.
No, I was gonna say, and hopefully, like, because again, like the whole like supposed reveal. Hopefully, this is something where it's like this seems like a big reveal, but then when you end up watching the movie, it's a situation where it's like, oh dang, in hindsight, they actually didn't reveal anything in the trailer. Like, hopefully, the movie just kind of keeps with the surprises and everything like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's one of those types of situations because that's always a fun surprise. But yeah, I'm just talking.
No, I'm with you. So I hope they have more in store for us in terms of surprises and like, oh, like the twist is this. So it's just like, or this could happen. So yeah, we'll see. And that's the only wide release that weekend too. So nothing really nothing really too big starting off September. All right, the 20th, Transformers 1, which is a kids animated movie. The other movie is a movie called Never Let Go. Have you guys heard this movie yet with the Halle Berry?
Is it with her and Mark Wahlberg?
No, that's The Union. That's on Netflix this weekend. This is called Never Let Go. Basically, it's kind of like post-apocalyptic. She has 2 kids, and there's kind of like a rope tied around them to like, hey, don't leave like the house. Basically, don't leave like the outskirts of the house. And the Halle Berry plays the mom, and he's like, do not leave.
Yeah, it's a horror, right? Is it a thriller horror?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah. I definitely want to see that. I saw the trailer and I was like, it kind of gave me a little bit of like, Us, with Jordan Peele and everything like that. That's what it kind of gave off a little bit in terms of like the style. So I was like, okay, like it definitely has a sort of like not to that extent, but
yeah,
it gave off that sort of like a feeling when I saw the trailer, and I was like, okay, I can definitely see myself watching this. And I'll definitely go check it out. And it's I don't know if it's too scary for me or not.
Moses, there's only one way to find out.
But yeah, I'll definitely like. There's like an 80% chance that I'm probably gonna go see it, and there's like a 20% that I probably won't. So. But
he's just trying to see how.
Yeah, Hey
yeah.
man. Hey man.
I don't blame you. I'm just calling it like I see it.
Hey man, you don't see nothing. But yeah, I'm excited for the film.
Yeah, it looks intriguing. I like the premise. I like Halle Berry. Again, I think the trailers haven't shown too much yet. Knock on wood. The second trailer comes out, I probably will try to avoid it because I think the first trailer kind of gave you like kind of the vibe of like what this could be, what this might be, whatever. I like the kind of the suspense of it all too, and it feels like a Blumhouse movie, but it's not a Blumhouse movie, which is kind of cool. So, and it's an original movie, so I get props for that too. So that's Never Let Go, which is opening against Transformers 1 on Friday, September 20th. Alrighty, the next one is so with you, Nick, actually, this one actually, Megalopolis, Francis Ford Coppola, the movie that's finally coming out after years and years and so much money spent. Nick, are you excited for Megalopolis? Why or why not?
I'm super excited for this movie. The cast is insane. Adam Driver, Shia LaBeouf, a bunch of other people that I can't currently remember at this current moment. But the thing that intrigues me the most in it is kind of like what we were talking about with Speak No Evil, where it's like, okay, here's the trailer. It's a bunch of shit going on. I don't really know what's going on. And I like that. I like the mystery and the intrigue of it. It looks like I remember we were at a screening and you had pointed out like you made a reference like this looks something akin to Cloud Atlas, where it's like I don't know what's going on with this movie. So it's like you kind of have to see it because of that. And I like those movies. I like I like ambiguity in trailers, but this movie just visually it seems kind of spectacular. It seems like there's some interesting concepts that they're going to be exploring or introducing. Because I think there was a line in there, something about like creating worlds or something like that, and I love that type of stuff. So yeah, that's a 10 out of 10 for me as far as anticipation goes. Um, I'm really excited about that movie.
Yeah. All right, Moses. I'm gonna ask you as another fellow filmmaker in this group with you and Nick. Are you excited for Megapolis? Why or why not?
I am. I'm very excited. I mean, I love, you Mr. Coppola's earlier films and everything like that he made, and like Apocalypse Now and everything, and those films also were very much, films that people were very hesitant on basically, seeing, or even basically agreeing to basically for them to be made, So he's that type of director that basically thinks outside of the box and basically has a mindset of nobody else, right? So, and yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to basically go see this film when it comes out, and the visuals are very interesting. The cinematography though was very gorgeous, right? So
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna go see it, for those sort of like reasons. Story wise, I don't know what the story is about at all. I mean, we I know what it's about, right? It's about a person who basically wants to change the whole sort of like city of New York into a different sort of like into a different sort of like world, kind of. If I'm maybe I'm wrong here and there, but yeah, I'm excited for those reasons. I know there's some little bit of drama outside of the film that's happening and everything like that, which we shall not discuss. But
Right.
I'm going to go see this film because of because of the anticipation that it has, and because of my interest of seeing it, since day one when since I heard the news about it. So
Yeah. I honestly, you guys kind of spoke my mind on both. I mean, I agree with both of you guys. I'm definitely intrigued because it's Coppola. And you have a fantastic cast. Obviously, you got Adam Driver, Juan Carlos Esposito, Elliot Manuel, Aubrey Plaza, Shia LaBeouf. It's a really interesting premise, and I think when it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival this summer, it was very divisive, and I kind of like seeing movies that are kind of divisive because it's just like kind of gets you like, will you be on like the liking it or the not liking it side? Um, and if you heard the show for the past couple of years, all three of us and sometimes Joel is that like we're kind of on both sides of the coin sometimes in certain movies and shows. So um, I do like to see kind of like very divisiveness in film. Again, and also the story behind how crazy like all the money that was spent on this, that like it was a self-financed whatever too, that it's a very ambitious film, but like your point too, Nick, it gave me a lot of Cloud Atlas vibes for sure. So I was like, yeah, okay. And Cloud Atlas I thought was also very ambitious for the most part, but to me I was just like I saw it once and I was like, okay. I was like, sure. But
Oh, you didn't like Cloud Atlas like that?
Nah, I think I remember watching it in high school, and I
yeah, do
think
you like Cloud like that? Nah,
I
I'm
think
kidding. Sorry.
I watched it in high school, and I was like, all right. And then I tried watching it during COVID, during lockdown, and I was like, I just couldn't do it. I was just like, I like Tom Hanks, I like Halle Berry. Just to me, it just didn't work for me. Did you like it though?
Oh yeah, I thought it was really cool. Because I like that the kind of like multiverse thing, for lack of a better term. They didn't like do the multiverse like that, but I liked how it was essentially just like one story kind of told through like different time periods, and I liked how I like the interconnectivity of it, where it's like you have like some, because there was like one scene where it was like a character from like the like 1800s or whatever. He's like, I had a dream where I was in like a cafe and all the waitresses had like the same face, and generally speaking it's like, okay, that just seems like a weird dream, but you're watching the movie and then they cut to a scene that's like 1,000 years in the future, and then there's that cafe with all the waitresses like with the same face, and it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So I liked how every character's life was connected to like every other character's lives. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
like that through line, and I like the exploration of that. Yeah. I just like, on one hand it's a fun movie, but two is on the other hand it's like, I thought it was creative storytelling, and I enjoyed it. I think that's one of the few Wachowski movies I liked that was not The Matrix.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of peaked with The Matrix, but I believe but I digress.
No, it's on. I know it's on Max. I think I should maybe give it a revisit just to try it again. But I think I saw it in high school. I think it was like junior or senior year. I was like, yeah, it just didn't work for me. But I think how you just said it. I think I gotta watch it in different perspective this time and kind of just see what I missed the first time. Again, I could like it or could feel the same, but not a bad idea, Nick. I'll try. I'll try it again. I'll try it again for you, for you.
Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated.
Okay. Okay. So that's the 27th, and then of course another kids movie is The Wild Robot. So there's two animated movies back to back: Transformers 1 on the 20th, and The Wild Robot with Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o on the 27th. Okay, so it's two back to back. Here we go. October 4th. Now we're cooking. It is Joker Fale Adu, or Joker 2 as us Americans say it. All right, Moses. Joker 2. What's your excitement at right now for this movie?
My excitement is very much from 1 out of 10 and everything like that. You know, if we're talking scales, I'm very much at a I'm at a 8 right now. Yeah, I'm at an 8. 7.5 low key, but I'm still at an 8. I'm still very much hesitant on it being a musical, right? I mean, you know me, I love musicals, right? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so it's very much, I'm excited because we're gonna have another sort of like amazing sort of like a like visually, entertaining sort of like a film because of the cinematographer and because of the director who, understands that language too as well. So I'm reason why it's around that scale is because of me being, you know, um, me being sort of like hesitant on it being like a musical and everything. So, but hey, it might be the same thing with La La Land, where I remember, Doug was like, "Hey, we should go check out this film. It's called La La Land, right?" I was like, "Really? This musical? It's gonna be terrible, right?" I went there. We went in there, right? We saw it and everything. I came back, you know, I was like, "Yo, this is the best film I've ever seen past couple of years and everything like that, right?" And one of the best musicals that I've seen in the past couple of years. So, it might be the same sort of like a feeling when I go in and basically watch it. So, and yeah, after watching La La Land, I remember, I came out like I think it was like 2 weeks later. I was like, I want to make a musical myself.
Oh,
So,
damn.
But yeah, no. So there's definitely high hopes for it to be good and everything like that. But I'm staying on that sort of like a scale because of me being iffy about it being a musical. But um, I feel like I might come out of it, and I feel like I'm probably gonna enjoy it overall. So, I mean, you got Joaquin, and you got Lady Gaga and everything like that, and those two are gonna kill it, and they're probably gonna get nominated again. We'll see, but yeah, I'm on that scale, and I'm just excited to see how it turns out. So.
All right, Nick. Joker Fale Adu or Joker 2? What's your levels at in terms of excitement?
I'm with Moses on this. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. I really enjoyed the first Joker movie. I thought that one was perfect. I will say though, by the end of the movie, I felt like this is just a perfect like one-off movie. I like that at the end you didn't like fully know what was going on. Like, did all of those events objectively happen, or did just like a version of them happen, but we're seeing like kind of his interpretation of it. Like, what does the end mean? Like, he's like, she's like, what are you laughing at? He's like, oh, you wouldn't get it. So it was kind of like, no, I kind of, it was all of that kind of stuff. When they announced part two, um, I was always gonna see it because I like comic book movies, and again, like the first one was really good, but there was this kind of question in my head, like, okay, but do they really need to do a sequel? So, but I'm excited to see the continuation of the story, while at the same time I feel like they don't really need a sequel. You know what I mean? I feel like it was just kind of perfect as is. But okay, they're doing a sequel, so let me see what they do with it. So again, it's an 8 out of 10 for me as far as anticipation levels. But yeah, definitely gonna see it. Excited for it. I'm excited to see what they do with it. And I think it was like a breakdown of the trailer. Apparently, the voice of Harvey Dent can be heard. So I'm like, okay, interesting. And I do also kind of want to see, like, are they going to continue the whole Bruce Wayne story as well? Like, are we going to see like what happened to him after his parents got killed by the end of it? But yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Think about an 8 as well. I think that like I remember liking Joker a lot, the first one a lot. I think it was a little overhyped when it came out. I was like, oh my gosh, it was good, but it wasn't like this thing. But again, it was a juggernaut. Obviously, it was a success story in terms of box office and budget. That $55 million budget movie made $1 billion. As we said at the beginning of the show, it was the highest grossing rated R movie as of now, before Joker, but before Deadpool and Wolverine, that is. Sorry, but yeah, you can't help but like appreciate Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of Joker. It's very different compared to Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson, Cesar Romero, and even Mark Hamill and Jared Leto. It's a very different kind of Joker. Made it his own for sure. And again, as someone who grew up watching Todd Phillips movies, i.e. The Hangover and Old School and Starsky and Hutch, I think when he did War Dogs, it was a kind of transition for him as a filmmaker of like, I'm gonna do something different now. And he says in the I think Hollywood Reporter before COVID, it was like how like he saw the industry changing in terms of movies of like it's mostly superhero, mostly comic book movies now. He was like, I want to do something like that, but I want to do it my own way. And he took inspiration from Scorsese and Taxi Driver, King of Comedy, stuff like that. He made it his own thing. Again, it's a very different Joker compared to like the comic books, obviously different. The mythology of the Joker. But you know what? I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he does with Lady Gaga, who I loved. I loved A Star Is Born, and back in 2018, the favorite movie of that year. I love that movie so much. It was, again, number one movie of that year. I thought Lady Gaga just blew me away in terms of her performance. We all know she's an amazing singer, but like I thought she was remarkable in A Star Is Born. So I think when her as Harley Quinn, I was like, okay, not my first choice, but I loved her obviously in Star Is Born. So I was like, okay, we'll see how it happens. So, and the musical aspect, I'm curious because it could, again, like I'm also a big musical fan too. It could work, or it could be like, what the hell is this? And it's also very surprising too, is that how they were so adamant when the first one came out. We're doing one, no sequels, no franchise, whatever. But I think once they hit that $1 billion, they were like, you know what? We got one more in us. So I'm very curious to see. Yeah, money talks. Am I right? So I feel like
that's real. Yep.
Whatever they feel like is a good story, obviously. And same writers coming back with Todd Phillips. I think Scott Silver is his name. So same people. I think people coming on board obviously for this one. So I'm curious, and I think I'm not entirely sure because it's still uncertain. But I think this was shot in 1.143 IMAX, which is really cool. That's how Nolan shoots his movies. How Dune 2 was shot. Is how I'm thinking of Nope was shot too. So if it's true, definitely see this in IMAX for sure with a 1:4:3 ratio. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued because I want to. But my only hesitant is that Todd Phillips and sequels aren't the best, I would say, with Hangover 2 and 3. So I feel like it's different genre, obviously different kind of story. You got Joaquin Phoenix coming back to his first sequel as well. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this turns out. But I like the first one enough to like, hey, I'm definitely excited for this one. So we'll see how that turns out. That's coming out October 4th, which is, funny enough, is the same release date 5 years ago with the first Joker. So the first one came out October 4th, 2019, and then 5 years later, October 4th, 2024. So Joker Fale Adieu comes out on the 4th of October this year. And it's also the only big release that Friday. Okay, this is what I'm looking forward to, actually. I'm curious about this one. This one's called Saturday Nights, and the trailer just dropped for this last week. Have you guys seen the trailer for this movie yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so
Yes, I have. I have seen the trailer.
all right, Moses, I'm asking you first. Which are the Saturday Night? Great cast. It's an SNL biopic in some sense. What's your thoughts on this trailer and this movie overall?
I mean, the trailer isn't like your average trailer and everything like that, right?
It's not.
It felt very much like, like an SNL, like it felt very much SNL, which was great, which was different, right? And it made me more excited to see it, and it's an ensemble too as well, and it's stacked when it comes down to, these actors are very much, they're not like super crazy, well known, and I feel like the only person that's like well known in this film is, our guy, what's his name? What am I forgetting his name? He played the Green Goblin.
Willem Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. Yes. Yeah. He's in it, and but it's a lot of sort of like young cats in it and everything. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out when it comes out. I'm definitely gonna check it out, and I'm excited about it. There's a few sort of like faces I definitely recognize in that trailer, but I can't really stick the landing when it comes down to the names. But I saw it and I was like, I'm definitely gonna check it out, and it's a style of filmmaking that I also very much like, too as well. So it felt very sort of like a gritty a little bit, and I like that sort of like way of like storytelling, especially when it comes down to the more like indie level. I would say this is not an indie level indie sort of like film at all. It's I think it's Sony, right?
The
So
studio.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see. Yeah, it's Sony Studio, right? What is it?
Yep, Sony. It's Sony Pictures. Yep, Sony Pictures. Yes, sir. Sony Pictures.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it when it comes out.
Yeah, basically, Nick, what it is, it's takes place right before the first airing of SNL, like ever. As you had Dan Aykroyd, Jim Belushi, Chevy Chase. The NBC did not believe in this show whatsoever. Everyone's either high or drunk or kind of like, the sets are breaking down. People are all over the place. It's very Uncut Gems, very Safdie Brothers kind of vibe to it. Very very chaotic. And again, it's just like they have an hour until the show goes on, and if not, they're all screwed basically. So Dylan O'Brien's in it, plays Dan Aykroyd. Lamorne Morris plays Garrett Morris. Matt Wood plays John Belushi. Corey Michael Smith plays Chevy Chase. Ella Hunt plays Gilda Radner. Gabrielle LaBelle, who was in The Fablemans, plays Lauren Michaels. Willem Dafoe's in it. Finn Wolfhard's in it. J.K. Simmons is in it. Rachel Sennett is in it. Nicholas Braun plays Jim Henson and Andy Kaufman, which is kind of funny. Matthew Reese plays George Carlin. So it's like Cooper Hoffman's in it as well. So it's a great cast of like young talent. And for the most part, I feel like the cast looks pretty spot on. I mean, everyone looks like kind of like the guy playing Chevy Chase kind of plays Chevy Chase. It has kind of like the very Chevy Chase kind of like the dickish kind of like snarky mannerisms down. Dylan O'Brien looks like a great Dan Aykroyd. This new guy Matt Wood, who's playing Belushi, has him spot on. Looks like it. So it's a very impressive like ensemble with like actual resemblance in terms of like the real people, whatever. And Jason Reitman's doing it, obviously, who did Juno, Up in the Air, Thank You for Smoking, Ghostbusters Afterlife. So it's pretty cool to see him kind of do this movie. So I'm excited for this one because it looks very kind of like funny and chaotic. But again, as someone who grew up, watching SNL, so grew up watching, Dan Aykroyd, and grew up watching, Eddie Murphy Mike Myers, like all the SNL stuff. I would love to see how it's kind of like takes place. Again, right now it's very Hollywood, fied for sure. But for the most part, I'm very intrigued by the trailer. It looks very kind of like controlled chaos, but funny enough. So sign me up. So that looks pretty good. And that is October 11th.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
It was pretty good. Yeah, I mean the trailer looks pretty good. I watched the trailer. I think watching the trailer looks interesting, very kind of funny, again very chaotic. So that is October 11th. Also another kids movie, but again it's TBD on the release date. We'll come back to it another time. Is Piece by Piece, which is the Pharrell Williams movie as kind of biopic but in Legos. But I think that guy got pushed back.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I think it got pushed back. So
okay, man.
That's TBD. So we'll come back to that one. Okay, October 18th, Friday, Smile 2. All right, Nick, as someone who loves the first Smile movie, are you looking forward to this one as well?
You know what? It's at like a 6.5 for me, because it looks like it has a bigger budget than the first one. Again, kind of like this was another example of like the first one was fine. I feel like they didn't really need to make a sequel, but I love the first one so much. So they announced a sequel. Okay, bad. I'm on board. The trailer seemed cool, and there were like some shots where I was like, okay, that looks really interesting. That looks like really, just psychologically terrifying. And I like it when horror movies take it there.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like, do y'all really, really need to be making a sequel to this? So again, like 6.5, 7-ish as far as anticipation. But I am looking forward to it. Great time with the first one. Naomi Scott is in this one. I thought she was great in Power Rangers. I haven't really been the biggest fan of some of the other roles that I've seen her in. But I mean, hey, at the very least, I think it'll be a fun time this movie. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Moses. Not a big horror fan, but you're looking forward to Smile 2. Did you like the first Smile movie?
Hell nah. No, I'm kidding. You know what's funny?
I was waiting for that one, Moses.
No, you know what's funny? I actually watched the first one.
Really?
Oh, dang. What'd you think?
Yeah, I actually watched it. Especially like the third act and everything, I was like, what the hell is going on? And it was definitely, it was scary, but I still enjoyed it, in some way. I was very much like, it's funny, when I was watching it, I had like, I kind of had like a filmmaker sort of like guard on me about me knowing that this is a movie, and I'm watching, I'm watching this film right now. I was looking at this one scene now, and I was imagining like, okay, this was definitely shot on stage and everything like that. It was not shot on location. They're shooting, a wide shot that's all makeup and everything like that. So I had a sort of like a filmmaker kind of guard on me, knowing that this is all just filmmaking and everything. So, but at the end of the day, I definitely enjoyed it. So, and Naomi Scott is going to be in this one too as well. I really loved her, in her other sort of like a work, and including, including Power Rangers. I know some of y'all didn't like it. I really love Power Rangers. That was a really good movie. Huge Power Ranger fan, by the way. Don't hate, just appreciate. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyways. But yeah, I'm at a 7.5 right now with this one too as well. Actually, no, I'm at a 7. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it too. I saw it too late, but I give it props that it was an original film from Paramount, and again, it was a low budget movie, made like 200 mil, which is crazy on a slow budget movie. So I love seeing that. That was a good year for horror and original movies, because you had that, Barbarian. What else came out this summer for like that year for like original horror movies? So it was really cool to see like these original movies that were low budget, like make their budget back and then some. So, but I think I saw it a little too late, unfortunately. When I put it at home with my ex, and we were like, I like the creepiness of it all, but for some reason, I was just like, when it ended, I was just like, okay, that's it, really. But it's definitely creepy, very eerie. I mean, again, anything with skin, I always like, I'm very squeamish where I'm like, oof, like cannibalism and skin stuff.
You didn't like the ending?
Not really. I was like,
really? That was one of the things I liked the most about it.
Really? Because again, I don't want to spoil it,
Yeah.
but it means 2 years. But when that one person sees something, I was like, that was creepy. That was creepy. When the reveal of something shows up, and I was like, ugh. I was like, my skin kind of crawled. I was like, ew. I was like, ugh, brother, ugh. But brother, ugh. And I was like, oh, give me the chills. I was like, but I did like that, like it wasn't like a spectacle horror. It wasn't like, for a studio movie, especially for studio horror, it's like explosions or kind of just like stabby all kind of stuff. But it was definitely a slower burn, and it wasn't focused too much on like special effects. It was more kind of just like more of a character study for a horror movie, for a studio horror movie especially. But it just I was looking forward to seeing it, but to me I was just like, it didn't really grab me the way that it did to you, or to like. I know Malone loved this movie. It was my favorite movie of the year, and I was like, okay. And I watched it. I was like, oh, it was cool. I just didn't like love it the way you guys did. But with this, I'm curious of like how they can bring this back, and maybe more on like a creepier level, or more of a mainstream level in terms of like having Naomi Scott play kind of like this pop star, how it can like affect her and her fans. So I'm intrigued by that, and I'll see it because again, I like supporting her. I also like supporting like an original filmmaking like this guy is doing. So. I give it that. I'll give it that. So yeah, I'm skeptical because then again, not a big fan of the first one, but still supported this in the theater. So that's October 18th this year. Okay, let's see. And then Flight Risk is an independent little indie, well not indie, but Mark Wahlberg and Topher Grace and Mel Gibson. That one looks kind of interesting, but looks kind of like. Looks very low budget.
Is that the one with Mark Wahlberg? I kept seeing like news about that. Is that where his head is, or not his head, but like his hair is kind of shaved off at the top?
It's a really bad bald wig. It's a really bad bald wig. You're like, oh, dude, and yeah,
it just looks kind of weird. I'm like, like I'm like, no disrespect to the filmmakers or whoever worked on the movie, Mark Wahlberg or whatever, but I'm like, I mean, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It looks very like a Netflix or Amazon Prime movie. It's like, I don't know. It looks very. It doesn't feel like a theatrical movie. It feels like this is. I mean, it kind of feels like Flying to the Moon. Like a fake movie that people would watch in an actual movie.
Dang, yeah. Like when you're watching a movie and the characters within that movie are like at the movies, and it's like you see all the movies that like the characters are watching, and
right.
You're like, no one would ever make that movie in real life, but lo and behold, here we are.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you said it spot on.
Yeah. I was watching the trailer. I was like, he's bald. And not even like that's what the whole movie's about. But I'm just like, man, I'm good, bro. I don't know. It didn't do it for me personally.
I laughed in the trailer because when his hair comes off, you can hear the Velcro go.
Oh no,
and I laughed. I was like, "Oh, come on, y'all!" I was like, "Lionsgate, we love you, but y'all couldn't afford like a better like wig or something like that because you can hear the Velcro come."
That's not a good look.
Yeah, but it looks like a streaming movie. It looks like a very kind of like Amazon Prime, like random day in October kind of movie. But yeah,
very Amazon Prime. Yeah,
yeah, that comes out. I think Smile 2 will definitely be the winner that weekend. Okay, that's October 18th. Okay, October 25th. Ooh, this is the last big one of October. Venom: The Last Dance. All right, Nick and Moses. We all saw the first one together. Had a good time with. Had a few laughs. Had a good time watching the first one. Nick, I'm starting with you this one as well. Then The Last Dance. Are you looking forward to it? What's your thoughts on this so far?
So this one is going to be a 9 out of 10 for me as far as anticipation. Like you said, the first one I loved, saw what you guys had a great time with it. The second one was fun, but there were just it felt a little bit flat for me in a couple of places. The end credit scene kind of brought it up, you know what I mean? But then like seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, it was like, okay, what the fuck? So, but like this one, the trailer seems to kind of like mix up and like emphasis on the word seems. It just seems like it kind of changes a little bit of the continuity based on what we've seen again in the end credit scenes, but it seems very much like, okay, this is the last ride, like this may be the end of Venom. And I'm excited to see that. It looks like it's gonna hit, like emotionally, so I'm hoping it does that well. I'm they had Chiwetel Ejiofor in it, and it's like, okay, so it's Chiwetel Ejiofor in a Marvel movie, but he doesn't seem to be playing Baron Mordo. I think that's how I pronounce it, because he was in the Doctor Strange
Yeah, he was.
movies.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, is he like, is this like another multiverse thing? What's going on with the other symbiotes? Is Venom gonna die? Are they gonna bring in like Null the symbiote god? I've been hearing rumors about that. There was a rumor that part of it is gonna be, or it's gonna be like partially about like Peter Parker when he was a kid or something like that. Because there was a shot where it looked like a teenage girl, a little boy, and then a woman. And so it's like, is that Aunt May, young Peter Parker, and I don't know who the other teenager would be, but and then like Reese Ifans, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. Like he's in the movie, but again, he's already in the Spider-Man franchise because he played Kirk Connors, aka the Lizard. But it looks like he's like a hobo with both of his hands. So does this like take place after No Way Home? But since Peter Parker like changed like his face, like he didn't become evil, and like he didn't become evil, grew back his hand, and then went back to the Sony universe, and then went on some like alternate path. Because if I think someone pointed out, like if that is how it worked, like whenever they got sent back to their original universe, they got sent back to like some point in their past. So again, if that's the case, is it like, well, everybody knows that Kirk Connors is like some weird lizard monster man. So did he like go into hiding and then become a hobo? And then that's how like they ran into each other, something like that. Like it's kind of like the questions that the trailer poses. It's like they're all like really exciting, but it's also like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So I'll say that. Like I'll give it like an 8 out of 10 as far as anticipation goes.
The reason I'm laughing is because, like, what are we doing here, guys? It's just like you're the lizard, now you're now you're basically a hobo. You're a bum in a van.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Because I'm like, you got two previous Marvel actors in this movie playing different characters. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know what Sony's trying to get. Sony, we're a fan of you guys, but like, what are we doing here? All right, Moses, as we saw the first one together.
Yeah, just give us Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 and call it a day, and we can all be happy. I'm excited for it though. I'm excited for it, but so I'm kind of like, I don't know what's going on, but I also kind of like that about it. I like that I don't really know what's going on, because again, like going into the movie, it's gonna be like, like, okay, bet, like I don't know what's going on. It's gonna be a fun it's gonna be a fun ride, as they say.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, Moses, what's your excitement for Venom: Last Dance at?
Yeah, I'm at a when I saw the trailer, it's I was like, man, I feel like they don't even like. I feel like they were just like, here, damn, shit, here's a movie.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, I no, I'm excited about it, but for some reason, a part of me is thinking like they didn't put a lot of sort of like effort in this one. When I saw the trailer, maybe it's just a trailer that's giving off that vibe. you
Yeah.
know, and everything. But I'm excited to see the movie. The trailer just didn't, hit me at all. Even the freaking, Venom horse. I was like, okay, that's cool, but I love the first Venom. The second Venom, and it was cool, but I'm still gonna see the third one and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm very much at a 6.5 right now with this new one. So, um, but yeah. So
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm still laughing. Yeah, fucking, he's a bum now. I just, yeah, I remember seeing the first one with you guys and having so much fun. Like, it was getting, people were like, "This movie fucking sucks." You all three were like, "All right, here we go," and they were like, "This wasn't terrible. We had a fun time with it." And
Yeah,
then
shit was dope.
it was a fun movie. And then with two, I always saw it once with you, Nick, and I remember I was so hyped because of the end credit. No spoilers. 3 years later, with the No Way Home reference, I was like, we're like, oh shit, here we go. I remember you and I talked about in the parking lot for an hour, like, yo, what could it mean? Like, what could happen? Whatever. And then to your point, then we see No Way Home. We were
Yo.
like, really? Like, you kind of blue balled us. You kind
Yeah, I was like,
of,
what was
yeah.
the point of this?
Yeah, we're like, what now? Excuse me, what now? And then to your point as well, I mean, yeah, why? Okay, they better explain why Chiwetel is in that. Like, again, he played Mordo and the other Doctor Strange movies, and also the bartender played by, again, for his name, actor's name, but he was Danny Rojas in Ted Lasso. He was also the bartender in Tom Holland's universe in No Way Home. And then you're right, you got Riz Ifans, who's the Kurt Connors, the Lizard, and the Amazing Spider-Man, and then No Way Home, playing a bum in a van. Like, what? Like, I don't know. It's just, I,
Right.
I've been so burned now. Last year was Sony, minus Spider Verse, but with Morbius and now Morbius and now Madam Web. I'm just like, guys, get your shit together, because I feel like we were rooting for y'all, we were supporting y'all. Now you're doing this shit. It's like, come on, come on, guys. Like, help me, help you,
For real.
help
It's
me.
like y'all need to straighten out.
So I'm nervous enough. I'm nervous, but I'm excited because I do like Tom Hardy. It looks, again, they've embraced the weirdness and the wacky and the zany and the all this stuff. I mean, the Mrs. Chen thing looks kind of strange. Like, they're in Vegas now, and then like the dance. I don't know. I don't know. So to me, it's just like they're definitely cashing in on all the things that made this series popular. Again, I assume it's the last one. If he dies, he dies. If he dies, he dies. I'm looking. I'm excited. I'm excited.
That
I'm
would
ex-
be quite a way to end the trilogy, though.
I would. It would, but I definitely know that because this isn't quote unquote Tom's universe, that there's a Venom out in the 616 MCU universe. So, it's like, okay, Tom Hardy's Venom could die, but we all know that there'll be a Venom with Tom Holland down the road. So, I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see it opening weekend probably. So, looking forward to it. Excited, sure, but not too like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. But I do like people involved. Like Tom Hardy's having a good time playing this character. So, and hope they explain those things you mentioned, Nick, of like the actors and characters. They better explain it, not be like, oh, nothing. I mean, pass on by. It's like, no, y'all better explain this shit.
Yeah,
But
what the hell's going on?
yeah, so that is okay. That's the only thing coming out October 25th. So that's Venom: The Last Dance. Ooh, number first. This is the one that I'm kind of intrigued with, and this is here with Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, and Abai Zemeckis. Moses, start with you, my friend. Are you looking forward to this movie here?
sorry, are you talking about which one? Which film?
This is one. This is here. This is the one that all takes place in that one spot with the one camera with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, and then they got de-aged.
Oh yes. I'm actually am excited for that film. I saw the trailer and I was like, wow, that's very interesting. I mean, the only thing I didn't like is the whole like the aging thing. Not really a fan. I feel like you could have cast younger actors to just play that and everything, and it probably would have been still great, you know, and everything. But I am excited for the film because I really like the concept that they basically, that the film basically have and everything like that. So I mean, I love Forrest Gump too as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad that that they decided to basically team back together, with this film. So, um, yeah, it's definitely there's a chance that it might get nominated, for an Academy Award. There's definitely a high chance up there because I mean you watch the trailer and you understand what the story's about and everything like that. You're like, okay, yeah, this Academy Award, is definitely up there when it comes down to it getting nominated. So,
Yeah.
but like I said, the only thing I don't like is a de-aging. It's a de-aging thing because I feel like you don't need it, and um, I feel like de-aging for me should only kind of be used you know, for a certain amount of time, not for the whole film. I feel like it should be for a particular scene, if that takes place, back in the past or whatever, you know. Um, and don't get me wrong, sometimes they do a really, really good job with it, you know. Um, but with this one, I was like, I don't think you need, it, especially if you're de-aging them all the way to when they're like teenagers,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. I feel like okay, well now then that's just kind of unrealistic. But if you're de-aging them from the age of like 50 to from the age of like what like 60 to age like to age 40, okay, that's I can believe that. But if you're de-aging people from the age of like 60 to age of like 20, you know, um I don't know. I don't know. It's just that same thing. Why I kind of didn't watch The Irishman by Scorsese, because of the whole de-aging thing. That's I watched the trailer and I was like, wow, this is shot very gorgeous. Like it's amazing. Then, the whole de-aging thing was there. I was like, you know what? That took me out completely. So, but I'm excited about the film in general because I really enjoy the story. When I seen the trailer, I was like, okay, this is very kind of like in my ballpark of films that kind of feel inspirational, and I like inspirational films. So, and that's what it gave off to me, and yeah, yeah. So we'll definitely see. So this is very much 7.5 out of 8 when it comes down to my interests of seeing a film.
All right, Nick. I remember saw the trailer for. I think when we saw Twister, we saw the trailer playing the big jumbo screen at Harkins. What's your excitement at for this movie here?
My excitement for this, I would say it's a 7 because I like the 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 Tom Hanks Robert Zemeckis pairing. Um, it looks like a very heartwarming story, kind of like how Moses was saying, like a little bit akin to Forrest Gump. It looks like a good movie overall. I see what you're saying about like the de-aging and everything like that. I personally stuff like that doesn't really matter that much to me. Like just as long as the story is there, because for me personally, whenever there's like CGI or anything like that, I feel like it feels like more often than not I'm aware of it, and there was a certain point where I was like, okay, like I feel like I'm almost always going to notice CGI, so let me just ignore that. Like, is the story good? Like, how does the movie make me feel? So I'm mostly looking forward to the movie in terms of the emotionality of it. But I'm excited for this movie. I think it's going to be pretty good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, uh, it's like a nice, lovely, heartwarming story again with Robert Zemeckis, Tom Hanks, Robin Wright. Dang, all from Forrest Gump. You make me want to watch Forrest Gump again, actually. But no, I'm looking forward to this movie for sure. I think
Little
it's gonna be a good one.
little Forrest Gump
Yeah,
reunion.
no, mean, I, yeah, I mean,
Hell yeah!
I want to add
Give
into
me
that
Forrest
and
Gump Part
everything like
Two.
that. Hello.
still Forrest.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I wanted to basically add on to that to what you basically said, Nick, and everything like that. I mean, it's I mean, and it's cool, and I'm glad that it's you know you don't sort of like look into it that much when it comes down to the de-aging and everything like that, but for some reason it already kind of tapped into my
Mhm.
mind. And there's definitely been films where I kind of ignored when it comes on to CGI in general, right? You have this special effects, sorry, the CGI and all those other things that are there when it comes down to these bigger blockbusters, sort of like a films that you kind of notice like, oh, they definitely messed up there when it comes down to the CGI, right? But when it comes down to the de-aging, it's like you're watching. It's like the actors are the focus, right? And you're purely just looking at them, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard for me to like kind of look to the corner of the film, of the aspect ratio and everything like that, and not follow the actor and not watch their every single move. So I'm already kind of I'm already tapped in when it comes down you know to that. And that's the one thing I wish I didn't tap into so much. But I'm excited for the film in general because of the story, and I know the story is going to be good. So and and yeah. Hopefully, I can get over the whole thing in general when it comes down to, de aging and all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah. You're
Maybe
saying
except
are you saying like with if like the CGI for like the aging just isn't really up to par? Like it's kind of hard to like look past that because I remember you mentioned the Irishman,
yeah,
I believe. And yeah, with that movie, like that was a movie where it's like, okay, like it's a fine movie overall, but for me personally, like I was kind of like, y'all maybe should have just got some younger actors to play the younger versions of these characters.
yeah,
It's kind of like that. Yeah, I'm with you on that
yeah.
because
That's
like
that's what I'm, that's what
uh,
I'm saying is
yeah,
definitely just yeah. When it comes down to the aging, it's like you kind of know, like, okay, you could have definitely brought in a younger like actor to play this
mhm.
role. You know what I mean? That can probably would have done a really good job too as well. Because it's like they are their age, if that makes any sense,
Mhm.
right? I'm
Yeah.
not saying these amazing actors can't do that, but there's a realistic element that they can bring in to that sort of like you know younger character that a a person that is 60 years old can't you know can't. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong when I watch this movie, because shoot, I always want to be wrong when I watch a film because I want it to be good,
Right,
right?
right.
So and yeah, so I always feel like if the scene is, you know if if you are basically playing, a 25-year-old and you're, a 6-year-old and everything like that, that's when I'm like, you know what, dude, you could have brought somebody else in here,
Right, right.
you know.
I'm with you on that because
That
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 again,
you know
going back
that
to the
that, that is
Irish,
all I'm saying.
I mean, like those scenes where Robert De Niro had to act like he was like in his 30s. I was like, man, just get a 30-year-old for that one,
You're
man,
old.
because you
You're
No, yeah,
moving
old.
like a
that's
65-year-old. Exactly.
no,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
like, bro, I never seen a 30-year-old with arthritis that bad before.
What's that a line from
Man,
SpongeBob?
but no, that's.
How much time to teach you, old man?
Oh yeah. How many
That was
times we got to
amazing.
teach you
Teach
this
you this
lesson,
lesson,
old
old
man?
man.
But yeah, I mean that's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I hope the film is good. I know it's gonna be good, because Tom Hanks and the whole gang from Forrest Gump and everything like that. So, but I am a little bit nervous, about it just because of the aging and all that kind of stuff like that. I feel like there is gonna be a time though where we, especially with all this AI and stuff, in about literally like under five more years, we're really gonna tap into that, and I feel like we're gonna do a really good job. I'm not saying that we're not doing a good job now already, but I feel like we're gonna really tap into the de-aging thing, just a little bit more into the future, everything.
Yeah.
So, but and yeah, yeah. So, but I'm excited though. I'm excited for this film. A whole freaking film set in one area, and through time, right?
Yeah,
Through
through
the whole
time. Yep.
dinosaur age and everything like
Mm.
that. We're just on sticks, right? We're on on a tripod and everything, and we just follow. We just we go around the sun a billion times,
Yeah.
in this one little area of the world and everything, and I think that's really cool. So, shout out to Robert, for this sort of like original idea. I don't know if it's original or if it's based on a book or whatever, but it's a sure damn good idea that I wish I could could have come up with first. But you know, um, because if I did, I would have been like, man, I'm making this ASAP. I don't care how much money I have. But yeah,
That's the should be the
I'm with
poster.
that.
Should be the poster. You said you should say it, on sticks and a tripod. That's the
that should
that's
be the
the,
tagline.
the
That should be the
tagline.
tagline.
Just sticks and a
Yeah,
tripod and a dream.
yeah. A camera on the stick.
Yeah,
Through time. Um, yeah,
I'm with
yeah.
I'm with you guys on this.
Yes, indeed.
I'm intrigued by the premise. Again, I like Zemeckis. I like Robin Wright. I like Tom Hanks. I think Zemeckis needs a fucking win because he has not had a hit since probably Flight, which was I want to say 12 years ago, give or take. Yeah. So again, I feel like I fell asleep watching Pinocchio. I heard it was really bad. I started watching. I knocked out. And then that one he did with Steve Carell, I was gonna go see, and then someone said it was awful, so I didn't go see it. But I feel like he hasn't had a hit like since probably since Flight. So he's definitely due because I get Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time. Fucking love Back to the Future. I love Forrest Gump. So I want to see this man have a win. So I'm intrigued. It could be a good idea, or it could be just really kind of like weird gimmick for the first hour and be like, okay, like move camera, move, turn to the left. We'll see, but I'm intrigued by the premise and see if they can pull this off. So that's on November 1st.
You said move, camera, move.
Move. I want to see the kitchen. Come on, move. Show us that bathroom. Show us that staircase.
Can you do a pan?
Yeah,
Can you pan to the left, to the right? No.
I'm calling it now. The movie's gonna end with the camera tilting down.
Oh God,
Dang.
no. You know what? I'm calling it. I feel like the the camera move for the last shot is gonna be a push in.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right. Yep, you're right. You're definitely right.
Yeah, it's gonna be a push in, 100%, and it's gonna be them hugging. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or now, so you know what? I don't want to speculate or whatever, but I know it's gonna be pushing. That's all I know.
I say they should pull a Sopranos and just have the camera cut out in the middle of whatever the fuck's going on at the end.
Like it'd be funny if the fucking camera battery just dies. The camera battery just dies.
That'd be fucking
Beep, beep,
like
beep.
mid sentence.
You know what?
She's like, honey, what was that secret you wanted to tell me? Well, base, and then it's just black and then credits. Like we
Oh my
waited
God.
2 hours to hear what this guy was gonna say.
Oh, dude, that
I changed my mind. I think it's gonna be a sound effect of a TV turning off.
Mm.
Yeah.
that or the fucking or it says
I'm
fucking
with that.
SD card full.
Yeah, funny.
something like that. Because that's the only thing coming out for the next 2 weeks. Then November 15th. Oh, a big one, guys. We have the Santa Claus event of the year, Red One, with Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, and J.K. Simmons. Nick, I'm happy to start with this one. Are you looking forward to a Red One?
Well, let me go first.
Go
Let me
ahead.
go first.
Go
Got
ahead,
you.
Go ahead, Moses. Go ahead.
That's gonna be a no for me. I'm kidding. No, for real. If I'm being completely honest, there's been 3 versions of that film in the past 3 years.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You know, if you really think about it and everything, you know, I'll see it if I got the time. That's all I say. You know, yeah, because it's like yeah, yeah. I don't know. They spent so much money on this movie too as well and everything like that. But there's definitely I am gonna see it, but I'm not gonna be completely like, you know, like try to put myself out there to, you know, to go watch it. Even though I'm a huge fan of The Rock, and I'm a huge fan of, Chris Evans and everything like that. I love their work. You know, big shout out to Captain America,
And Black
and
Adam.
everything. Yeah, and Black Adam too as well. You know, it's funny. I really liked Black Adam, even though some people didn't. But
We did too.
Black Adam was dope for the most part.
Yeah, Black Adam was dope, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That was actually pretty fire.
Yeah.
But going back to this movie, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. You know, yeah. If somebody basically, took the remote from me and turned off the movie, I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, all right, man, that's cool.
No, oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
I'm just joking. No. I hope they're not listening. Oh no.
Yeah, we're just kidding.
I am gonna pick. Yeah, we love you, Dwayne. We love you, Chris. At the end of the day, we were a huge fan of yours. If you're even listening, but anyways, I'm still gonna check it out. You know, if there's time for me to check it out. So
use that Regal pass.
Yes, 100%. That's definitely what I would do.
All right, Nick, red one. You looking forward to this one?
Like, it's not that I'm not looking forward to it, but like it's kind of not really on my radar. Like, generally speaking, man, fuck the bullshit. Not really. I like it's very like middle of the road, just kind of like kind of like what Moses was saying. If it's on, it's on. If it's not, it's not. It seems like a fun movie, but like I don't think I would like go out of my way necessarily to see it. It's an interesting premise though. Like I do like the idea. I like this kind of alternate take that they're doing on the whole Saint Nicholas. This is what really happens with Christmas and everything like that. But I think the entire time I was hearing about the movie, I just assumed it was like a kid's Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember the last like PG-13 Christmas movie I've seen or even heard of off the top of my head. So I'm like, that just in a very like inoffensive way, it seems a little bit like weird. But like, it looks fun enough. You know what I mean? Like generally speaking, I'm a fan of Dwayne Johnson. I'm a fan of Chris Evans, J.K. Simmons, Lucy Liu, but it looks cool. Yeah, like 6.1 out of 10.
You lie. You know he's a 0. Nah.
I ain't never lie, play. I ain't never lie.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
I failed recess. That's how much I don't play games.
I'm weak. I'm done.
So I'm kind of with both of you guys. Like, I mean, The Rock and Chris Evans, that could be fun. That could be some kind of special. I'm a big J.K. Simmons fan, so like that also could work as well. You never know. I'm kind of like we'll see. Only thing that surprises me that it was supposed to be a Amazon Prime streaming movie, but it got switched to theatrical. So either they believe in that movie because of that reason, or it was part of The Rock's contract for a box office thing. So that to me is, I don't know. That to me is like interesting. But you made a good point yesterday, Nick. You came over yesterday. You said that, well, The Rock has never made a movie with the director of like kind of like a big level. Like hasn't had again, his biggest one, as you said yesterday, is Michael Bay, Pain and Gain, which is 11 years ago. So he hasn't really made a movie.
Right, like he hasn't really had a director that's like pushed him like that as an actor.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, this A24 movie coming up, not this Red One movie, but this one where he's playing the wrestler. Like, hopefully that kind of again like pushes him as an actor a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, it just kind of seemed like he's been chasing the check, which I get. You know what I mean? Money makes the world go round, but it's like when you kind of look at his film career, like it's like you're not really seeing it to see how well he acts in it. You're just kind of seeing it because you like Dwayne Johnson.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's he mean for the most part, I mean, not for the most part, but like he either sells tickets or not really, because you look at Baywatch, didn't really sell. I mean, Black Adam did okay, it didn't do really good money, but it's kind of a hit or miss with his box office. So this could be a box office hit because come around at Christmas time. Chris Evans is a big name, but again, I think it depends on like if it's like a big like if people like it, like good reviews, whatever. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm intrigued. Chris Morgan's writing it. Chris Morgan wrote most of the Fast and Furious. I think he wrote Fast and Furious 3 through 8. So I think he also wrote Hobbs and Shaw. So we'll see. We'll see. Again, that Amazon's doing it from streaming to theatrical could be a thing, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, the last two, boys, before we wrap it up for the night. All right, Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2. Moses, my friend, where is your anticipation level at for Gladiator 2?
Gladiator 2. What's that movie again? No, I'm just kidding. No. Gladiator
with the goat
2,
Denzel.
Don't make me come over there.
I'm just kidding. I am. No, my excitement for that movie, is yeah. I'm just really excited for that movie. I ain't gonna say anything else and everything like that. I love the first one. Ridley Scott. Even though he's recent, other film which should not be named. It was that biopic about that one dude. I forgot his name. Played by Joaquin Phoenix. What is that movie?
Biopic from Joaquin?
Not really a biopic, I wouldn't say, but I mean it's based off a, it's based on this sort of like a
yes.
like
Napoleon. Yeah, Napoleon. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Were you about to say Napoleon Dynamite?
I did. I sure did. I can't deny it. I got caught in 4K. I sure as hell did.
No, it's funny because I was gonna say Napoleon Dynamite too as well for a second.
I said it for us. I said it for us.
It's funny, but no, man. Like seriously though, I'm really excited for Gladiator 2 and everything. I know it's gonna be amazing. The spectacle is unreal when it comes down to it, and I feel like Denzel is gonna eat that shit up, and I know he is because I saw the trailer. When I saw the trailer, I was like, man, this guy is like, acting little like chops, to this film and everything, and yeah, when the trailer came out, I mean, he was the whole sort of like talk when it came down to it, when it came down to like, it being being trending on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever. He was definitely, the highlight. So I'm excited for him, and I'm excited for the rest of the cast, like, Pedro Pascal and everything like that. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this movie. I know Wicked is also coming out the same day. I don't know if that was going to be the next film we talk about, Doug, which I'm sorry.
Yes, sir, it is. You're good. You're all good.
No. I just want, I'm not gonna say anything else from that film until you bring it up. But yeah, I'm just excited for Gladiator. It's gonna be a good ride. 100%, it's gonna be a good ride. I'm definitely gonna go check that out and make sure that I see it on you know, at the Chinese theater on IMAX. You
Mm.
know, so yeah.
All right, Nick. Gladiator 2. What's your thoughts on it?
Gladiator 2. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I haven't seen the first one.
Same here.
But you feel me? Yeah. Hey,
Wait,
maybe
what?
we should
Y'all
just
never seen
we
the
should
first
just
one?
No, we have not.
Not yet. It's on my to-do list.
Nah, man.
It looks good though. Like it definitely looks good, obviously. But no, I'm Gladiator 2. I'm excited for it. It looks good. The trailer sold me, and obviously, you know, they got Denzel in it, so you got to see it for that at the very least. But it looks good. Damn, yeah, I gotta watch the first one first. I gotta watch the first one first. Like it's one of those movies where it's like I think I know how it ends, but I still gotta watch it. But with Gladiator 2, I'm looking forward to it. Great cast. I think like Ridley Scott is coming back to direct it. I'm looking forward to it. I think my anticipation for it is about like 8.5, 8.9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope like at some point in the movie Denzel says, "My gladiator."
He better.
That I feel like, man, if they say that, it's gonna be a standing ovation for me right at that moment. I don't care what's going on. I don't care how full the theater is. I don't care if they throw me out. Man, I feel like I need that in my life right now.
I mean, he better.
The movie will not be complete without it.
He better laugh like 1,000 times.
I'm
better.
Crazy, man.
He better.
Oh man,
this is the last collaboration between him and Ridley Scott was American Gangster, which is a very underrated movie, if you ask me.
That movie goes. That movie goes
so good.
Russell Crowe's in that movie too. Speaking of Gladiator,
yes, sir, he is. Great cast.
Yeah,
he has a great cast. So I'm more with you, Nick. Again, I haven't seen the first one before. And last month I had dinner with my dad, and I was like, "You see the first Gladiator?" I was like, "No, sorry, Pop." He goes, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I'll watch this new one. I'll watch the first one before I see this new one because, again, Denzel's in it. Obviously, I do like Pedro Pascal. I like seeing all these new talent, whether it's Paul Mescal, Joseph Quinn's in it too. So it's cool to see. It's kind of cool to see kind of like young talent now mixed with kind of like legends with like Denzel and Ridley Scott. So I'm with you too, Moses. I didn't really like. No, I fell asleep watching Napoleon. Actually, I felt first 10 minutes I knocked out, so I was like, "Yep, I'm good." I didn't see House of Gucci. I didn't see Last Duel. I heard both of them are good. There's fucking 3 hours long each, so it's like pick and choose. So I think the last movie I saw of his,
House of Gucci was dope, but I didn't see The Last Duel.
Oh, is it worth watching House of Gucci?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay,
most definitely.
It's on my list. It's my list I was supposed to go see it with my ex, and then we saw something else instead. I was like, oh, boo, boo. I gotta watch that. I'm trying to think. Ridley Scott. Last thing I watched. Last thing he directed that I saw. Let's do. No. I didn't watch All the Money in the World. You saw Alien Covenant. I didn't see Alien Covenant. The Martian. Wow. So the last movie I saw of his was The Martian, which was almost 10 years ago. So I'm definitely overdue for some Ridley Scott if he can deliver. If he can deliver. And only time will tell. But I'm with you. He better see that gladiator line in that movie. I will get up. I will applaud. Like yes. I will have the wave going in the theater. Like come on guys, let's do it. Get the wave going. But we'll see. That's good. So that's Gladiator 2 on 22nd November, day after my birthday, and then Wicked. All right. Start with you, Nick. Wicked. Are you looking forward to this one? What's your thoughts on this so far?
Kind of like Red One, where it's like it looks fine, but I didn't see the musical. I don't want to say like I don't care. I feel like that sounds kind of harsh. Like it looks like a good, like it has a really solid cast, but and maybe I'm thinking too much into it. But I'm like, it seems kind of weird to me that a movie like this, it's like you got a black actress as basically the character who will become the ultimate antagonist for the Wizard of Oz like franchise, and I don't know, like that just it just seems kind of weird to me. And like maybe I'm like reading too much into it, but I'm like the character's played by a black actress, and she's the only quote unquote like colored person in the movie, even though she's green, but it still just seems kind of like I'm like I don't know. I'm not really feeling that. But
Reading into much of it.
am I? Because I might be. I don't know, but I'm
No,
like
I mean,
that just seems a little bit weird.
No, I mean, I didn't, I mean, I didn't really think of it, like that until you like kind of brought it up and everything like that a little bit.
Mhm.
But I know the film in general is very diverse and everything like that. I've seen the trailer. I mean, it comes in like 1,000 times whenever I go watch a movie and everything like that, and then I realize, wait, oh, that person's in it, and they're a person of color too as well. That person in it, oh, they're also a person of color too as well. So there's definitely it's definitely diverse sort of like a cast and everything, and yeah, for me, I'm definitely excited to see it because it's not trying to be something that it's not, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally.
It's just it's like it's not trying to fake you. It's like it's like this is a musical, right? And it is what it is. And that's pretty much it. They're very, very much are like, okay, this is it. This is it, and it is what it is. If you guys want to come see it, come see it. If you don't, you don't. That's the way I kind of look at it now, and the way that the promotion has been going for it, because I know Ariana Grande has been promoting the hell out of this thing. I'm not like I'm very much like like a 7 out of 5 when it comes down to seeing this film. 7 maybe, but but what makes it different from like Red One is that I've seen Red One a bunch of times without seeing Red One, if that makes any sense.
Totally.
And with this, it's like I know it's very much in the playing field of a lot of people who might not go and watch it, but there's at least a different element to it, in which I feel like is new a little bit. So that's kind of the reason why I feel like I'm gonna go check out this film and everything with the Regal Pass. Shout out to Regal.
Shout out to Regal.
And yeah, it's that's those are the reasons why I'm gonna go check it out. It's not trying to fake you on it being something that it's not. So, and yeah.
You know what, Moses? I'm with that. You've convinced me. So I'm gonna say it's a 7 for me now as well. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm
Sold.
like, okay.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, what brought me on board, man, too, as well, it was one of the reasons is like, her singing, wherever whatever film that she's gonna be in and everything like that, why am I forgetting her name, man?
Cynthia
Like
Rivio.
the lead character, Cynthia Rivio, yeah, Cynthia Rivio. So whenever she, whenever she sings in the film and everything, her voice is very, very strong, and it's very, loud, and it's very sort of like, impactful and everything like that. I'm gonna go see it because of my love for musicals too as well. So, yeah. So, yeah, those are the reasons. So,
I'm with that. Okay.
So I'm super looking forward to this one because Wicked's my favorite musical. I saw it in Chicago on Broadway, and I think I almost saw it.
Wow, that's so dope.
I think it came to ASU when we were undergrad, so I think I almost saw it then, but I didn't get to see it. But I saw it in Chicago as a kid. I just fell in love with the music. I fell in love with the story. Obviously, I'm not a big Wizard of Oz fan personally, but like I love the music so much in Wicked that was so iconic and it stuck with me all these years. Cynthia Rivio, who I adore and I love, ever since we saw her in El Royale, but it's like, oh wow, she can sing. Like, oh my gosh, she can sing. So
oh yeah, for sure.
Ariana Grande to me was not questionable, but like a huh, because I haven't seen her in a lot of movies before, so I'm kind of like, she can pull it off, or she can't pull it off. I mean, I wouldn't say she would have been my first choice, but I think that she has a beautiful voice as well. That she can definitely pull off the music, the music chops for sure. But can she pull off the acting chops? We'll see. And just Goldblum, obviously, you got Michelle Yeoh. So it's really cool to see it really kind of like this like big cast. So if they can pull it off, John M. Chu, who I like a lot. I mean, John M. Chu came from a guy doing Bieber documentaries to Step Up movies to doing that to then doing random action movies like G.I. Joe 2 and Now You See Me 2. Then he did a very underrated movie a couple years ago called In the Heights, which is a very beautiful movie. So I think he knows how to like just make music and dancing choreography very well. That it's like, oh,
Love In the Heights.
So good. It's a beautiful movie. It's really a lot of fun. It unfortunately did really poorly because of the whole HBO Day and Day thing back in 2021. But it's a very underrated movie from his. I think he's really good. I think he's a really talented filmmaker. Again, he knows music and he knows dancing, he knows choreography. So like, I think I trust him with this kind of vision. I will say though, what they're not doing right now is that it's part 1 of part 2, and they're not putting that in the marketing. And I think it should be Wicked Part 1 or Wicked 1, whatever. Because I feel like when Dune came out, they were like, wait, this is part 1, and there was no part of that in the marketing. So I feel like they should definitely switch the marketing a little bit to like, oh, this is part 1 of part 2. That's still a thing, but again, I would change that into the marketing of like, oh yeah, we should let them know it's only a part 1 of part 2, because again, if you're going to see this movie, because Wicked's a really beautiful, long, very rich and magical story, you don't want to like cut it too soon, but also you don't want to like lead the audience on like, yeah, wait, come 2 years, we'll see part 2. So it's like, I think in the marketing, maybe part 1 or Wicked, the first chapter or whatever, should just be in the title to not confuse the audience or fans and lovers of the musical. So we'll see, but I'm looking forward to it because Cynthia Rivio, John M. Chu obviously is involved. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most this fall. So I hope they can deliver, because again, I love the musical so much, big part of my childhood especially. So I'm looking forward to Wicked on November 22nd, which is right around Thanksgiving and my birthday. So alrighty, guys, that is our fall 2024 preview. I know Moana 2 is coming out the week after, but that's kind of more Christmas time, winter, because it's past Thanksgiving. So we'll do our winter lineup closer to like November-ish. So hope you guys are looking forward to the fall 2024 movie season the way we are too. Hope you liked our little thoughts and opinions of the upcoming movie release slate. Alrighty, guys, as we end the show this week, we always, and for our new listeners, also our returning listeners as well, we always end the show with our one and ones. We do one TV recommendation and one film recommendation that we think is very underrated, or our show or movie that we love so much. We want to share the good word with you, lovely people. So, Nick, what are your one and ones of this week?
So for my show recommendation, my fiance just put me onto this show a couple of days ago. It's called Degrassi: The Next Generation.
Wheelchair Jimmy.
It's a little Canadian show. What's up?
It's Drake's character is Jimmy, Wheelchair Jimmy.
That's right. Yeah, but in the show, he's credited as Aubrey Graham, which is I didn't know that was his name until seeing the show. So it's a fun show. I'm not gonna lie, and it's fun, but interestingly enough, they do bring up kind of like real world issues that youth has to deal with. But what's interesting about it is they do it in realistic ways, and it never feels like they're like shoving it down your throat. How I would argue a lot of shows nowadays feel like they do. They do it very organically, very realistically, and even me, I'm kind of like, wow, they did that very well. You know, they always handle it. They handle the subject matter very maturely. So I really appreciate the show for that, and it is a funny show, and they do a good, it's a good balance of the serious and the funny. So Degrassi: The Next Generation, starring the iconic Aubrey Graham. And for my movie recommendation, a little throwback, Rush Hour 2. It's it's my favorite out of the trilogy. That was the only one that I had. I had that on VHS as a kid, and it was like the only one that I had. But I feel like the first one is probably the best out of the trilogy. It's certainly the most iconic. But Rush Hour 2, it just has it holds a very special nostalgic place in my heart. Um, you know, I could like watching the movie, I could probably recite like at least 85% of the lines like verbatim in real time as the movie's going on. That movie, gosh darn it, it's my shit and I love it. And I never get tired of it. It's fantastic. So Degrassi, The Next Generation, and Rush Hour 2.
Nice choices. Rush Hour 2 is the one with Jeremy Piven, right?
Thank you. That's that's right. Yeah, as the not the fashion designer, but he's the retail worker. He works at that clothing store in Vegas.
Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's that's probably my favorite too. That scene that always cracks me up. That's a good one. All right, Moses, what are your 1-and-1s of this week, my friend?
I only have one, which is a show that I've been watching and everything. I'm gonna start getting into more, getting. I haven't been watching a lot of. I haven't been watching a lot of movies this past week and everything, or even last week. So, but there's a show that I've been watching, and yeah, it just the new season just came out and everything like that too as well. It's called Industry on HBO. It's very much like if you love like a show like Succession or a show like Euphoria. It's kind of that, but like kind of mixed together, you know. And maybe there's also a little bit of Degrassi in there too as well, and everything. So it's very much in that sort of like a realm, um, and it tackles people who like I mean literally like young people that are literally in our age and in sort of like the like I wouldn't say the word is like stock industry, but they're in that sort of like you know like money exchange industry kind of. I don't know what's the whole sort of like word for it, but it's like Wall Street basically,
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street. Like if you've seen a movie and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it's very much focused on like younger sort of like the younger sort of like people that are in age of like the same age range as we are, and everything in this sort of like industry of it also. And yeah, it's a very interesting show. It's a very interesting show. So and I feel like people now are kind of like getting into it for some reason because and when I started watching it back in like I think like a year ago or something like that, I kind of told myself like people are definitely gonna get into the show, like maybe not now, but like I feel like if we once people kind of like understand what it is, they're definitely gonna get into it, and a lot of people have been watching it way more now, and yeah, and all those people are all bandwagons. No, I'm kidding, no, but no, but it's a good show if you want to check it out, too as well. Yeah, it's a really it's a really sort of like fun show. It kind of gives off the same feeling as that one movie. What is it called? Uh, there's a lot of like it gives you kind of like and like it makes you feel like anxious, kind of. I remember watching Uncut Gems, feeling like very like anxious for the lead character for like making the wrong decisions. It kind of gives you the same thing with this show. It makes you feel very like anxious in some sort of like scenes whenever they are, trying to basically win somebody or win some money or or make a deal or something like that. So and yeah, man, it's a very intense show. So
yeah, I keep seeing it promoted on Max. I think you kind of piqued my interest, my good sir. I kind of want to check it out now. I'm adding to my list right now as we speak. Before I forget.
yeah, I mean, Yeah, you should. Yeah, yeah, it's one of those shows that kind of like gets you for some reason like in the mood of like just making money. I don't know, like or even just in the
Stop.
mood of like I don't know, just like hustling.
And
I
stop.
don't know, maybe I'm tripping,
Not being
but
broke. Not being broke, huh?
yeah.
Stop being broke. I can't. I can't.
I mean, I guess you can say that, but it just gives you like another sort of like energy of like, man, okay, these people are are here talking money all the time and everything like that. I got to be like them, and yeah, it's just a fun show in general. So yeah.
I check it. I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out. I'm sold. Alrighty, for me, for my movie of the week, I'm gonna do a very underrated action comedy from 2010, which is The A Team, because I fucking love this movie so much, and it's super underrated. I
Hmm.
watched it recently. I again didn't watch The A Team growing up because we were kind of way before our time, obviously. But I remember seeing it in high school. In the sixth grade with some friends, and I was like, "This movie is awesome." I love from Bradley Cooper to Quentin Jackson to Liam Neeson to Shelton Copley. It's a really like perfectly casted quote unquote remake reboot. Yeah, someone who grew up with the A Team show. I know the song, the dun 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 dun. I know the song, but like the movie to me is so much fun, and they have great chemistry between all four leads, from BA to Face to Hannibal to Murdoch, and it's such a fun movie. It's a really fun. I watched like a month ago, and I was like, man, this is just a fun action comedy. Great chemistry. Joe Carnahan directed and wrote this one. Unfortunately, it flopped the box office. I mean, it was a big flop. But watching it, I'm like, man, this is a fun movie. I mean, they freaking fly a tank in the air, which is crazy, which is so crazy when you see it. But I don't know. It was a big part of like I guess our pre-teen years, our quote unquote tween years. And I haven't watched it in a while, and I put it on last month, and I was like, man, this is a fun movie. This is so much fun. Puts a big smile on my face. An hour 45 goes by really quick. Again, great chemistry, over the top action. It's very silly, but I guess it's a fun movie. I have a big crush on Bradley Cooper. My favorite actor of all time is Bradley Cooper. So like, yeah, a little biased, but like I just love that movie so much. It's really funny. Yeah, I love just the kind of the banter between BA and Murdoch and Face and Hannibal. It's a really fun movie. And I think out of all like the like TV reboots and remakes, that's probably up there with like Jump Street for me of like just great adaptations to shows and or old shows or whatever. So I love that movie so much. It again breaks my heart that movie flopped and I do well at the box office, but man, I love that movie so much. So I'm going with the 2010 movie remake of The A Team. And then for my show this week, I'm gonna do a little bit of like a outside the box show, which is called the IT Crowd. It's a British television show from the BBC, and it's Richard Ayoade and what's his name, Chris O'Dowd, and what's the girl's name? I'm blanking on the girl's name. It's a British sitcom that aired like in the mid to late 2000s. It's a very kind of dorky, kind of very geeky movie, geeky show. But it's very kind of like a sitcom of like three IT people in London, basically, and it's really funny. It's very 20-minute episode, really quick. Richard Ayoade and Chris O'Dowd have great chemistry, and the actress I'm blanking on her name. Her name is Catherine Parkinson, and all three of them are just really funny together. It's really kind of getting quirky. For all of us who have had jobs in the office before, but super relatable, very Mike Judge esque in a way, like Office Space kind of way. But it's really funny, very clever. And again, 20-minute episodes, and it's super funny, super funny. Again, it's a basically a day by day, just the three IT people that work in the IT department at this like business firm, and it's really quirky, really goofy, really silly, but I love it. I remember watching it during COVID with my dad, and I watched it again, watching it again right now on Pluto TV, and it's just a really funny show, very underrated show too. So I'm gonna go with the IT Crowd as my show of the week, and my movie is the A Team remake slash reboot. So, alrighty, guys. So close the show. Nick, where can our lovely audience find you at home on the socials?
So you can find me on YouTube at Dawning Vision, capital D as in Dawning, capital V as in Vision, and on Instagram at Dawning Vision, all lowercase, all one word. And if you want to follow my personal, it's just at Ahmad Johnson 98. You can find me anywhere and everywhere that podcasts.
Alrighty. All right, Moses, my good sir.
Damn, I see you, bro.
You feel me?
Where can they
I'm
find
I'm
you?
trying to represent. I'm your player.
Hey, man. Networking, baby.
I'm playing.
Networking.
I'm just joking.
Network, yo. All right, Moses.
Yeah, that's funny.
You're up.
Yeah, you can find me at Moses Flowey underscore. That's my personal and kind of like my film Instagram page. I also have a kind of like a street photography page that I've been doing now lately, kinda. It's Moses Flowey. You can find me there, and you can find me at I was gonna say a really funny joke, but I'm not gonna say that. But you can find me also.
Wait, what happened? What happened? Sorry.
The genre. You can also find me at the Genre Review Like podcast too as well, where we create amazing sort of like podcasts and everything like the one you're hearing now. Yeah, that should be it.
Alrighty. And you can find me on Instagram at The Young Jones. You can find me on Twitter or X at Capri _Sun, SON. And you can find the show socials on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, all one word, at Midway Avenue Productions. Again, we had 3K at Instagram this past summer, which is crazy. We're still growing our YouTube, and our TikTok is still kind of steady for the most part. So keep on subscribing to all of our socials and these good sirs, their socials as well. So we always be in the loop with a new episode every week. But thank you all so much for our new guests. Hope you enjoyed your first outing with us here at the Genre of Your Life podcast. And for our returning guests, we love having you guys come back for more and more Genre of Your Life goodies and fun times on the podcast. So until then, my friends, have a good weekend. Happy August. And as always, we will see you at the movies.